Okay. Debbie and Tracy, rapid fire moment. Like, seriously, Deb, how ready are you for your rapid fire?
I'm excited. I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, let's do it.
Game on.
Game on. 25 questions, rapid fire answers. If you can't get it, you pass. And you want to get through every single question as fast as you can. I'm going to count you down from 5, and then we're going to start. Okay? Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is your bed made right now?
Yes.
If you could afford a car, any car, which one would you drive?
Maserati, red.
Have you ever written a song for someone?
Nope.
What is the last craft you made?
Don't make crafts.
What is one thing you regret spending money on?
I don't have any regrets. No.
What movie do you enjoy quoting the most?
What's that one with Will Smith? That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Pursuit of Happiness.
If you could be transformed into one animal, which one would you choose?
A tiger.
Who is your hero?
My mom.
Where did you go on your last vacation?
I was in Las Vegas.
What is your go-to pastime?
Working out.
What was your
studying
favorite? What was your favorite subject in school?
Drama.
Where did you go? Where did you grow up?
In small town Saskatchewan, called Hepburn.
Where do you live now?
Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
What is your favorite body part?
My eyes.
What is your favorite word in another language?
Bonjour. That's all I can think of.
What is your favorite dessert?
Anything with chocolate, baby.
What is your favorite breakfast?
Eggs and bacon.
If you had to change your first name, what would you change it to?
This is a tricky one. Probably lots come to my mind.
Wait, pass. Street smarts or book smarts?
I am street smart for sure.
Learn by watching or learn by doing?
By doing.
Fresh food or fried food?
Fresh.
Are you more cautious or bold?
Bold.
Cannonball into the pool or dip a toe in first?
Dip a toe in first.
Would you rather sleep in late or take a long nap midday?
Sleep in late.
What makes you hopeful?
Being mentored by some of the best in the world, and just really helping a lot of people.
Amazing. Rapid fire moment complete with Deb. Woo woo. Awesome, Deb. You're amazing. I love it. Cheers, Stella.
Okay, cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Tracy, you're muted now. I love that you had your mute moment.
I had my.
I love it.
Number 2.
And
a lot has happened since I took my break. I went and did something, and I'm like, why am I doing this? But God told me to do it. It has to do with the government, and I needed to make a phone call, so I did that. And I feel actually really happy and proud of myself that I did, because sometimes we avoid things that we create these stories in our heads. We're like, ew, I don't want to do that.
I had to make that call too a few months ago.
Well, my call was good. It was a good call. It was just a call about anyway, it doesn't really matter.
No.
Here's the thing.
Something you
we
were
all have things that we don't want to do, and it's just gonna fester and fester and fester. Archer's back. Archer, you rock, man, you rock. But yeah, it festered, and I was like, okay. And so just call yourself forward every day. Call yourself forward. You're not being called out or called back. Call yourself forward. Fall forward. Remember what Kelly said? We gotta fall back with surrender. We got to fall forward and lean into what we love. We got to fall down because we know we're going to screw up. And then we got to fall in love with ourselves.
Yeah.
Give yourself a hug, Jen.
Hang on. I'm just telling Mike we love him. He's leaving now. Archer's back.
Okay, Mike, you love hug. Hug. Yay. Okay. Let's jump into this. Okay. So first of all, Debbie coming on is stunningly beautiful. but what I got to know about Debbie we've gotten to know each other over the last year and a bit.
Mm.
She has such a beautiful heart. And I think I've helped her open up her heart a little bit. I'll let her decide if she thinks that's true. She's really cool. She's a very cool person because she says what she needs to say, but she also walks the talk. She doesn't just say the shit. She really walks the talk, like hardcore walks the talk. She pushes herself hard. She's hard on herself. And I think she's learning to love herself a little bit more. And that's why I know that this has been really good for her.
She has been. I told you this before, and I can't wait to hear her speak because she has been such a supporter of everyone in the chat. She is leading that chat with all kinds of cheerleading and support and encouragement and dropping all the golden nuggets. And
well, she also won a contest to invite the most amount of people. She won out of all the speakers. The most.
I have no doubt.
She goes all in. She's the all-in girl. All in, all in, all in, all in. Can't wait for you to meet her. Introduce this badass, beautiful, bold, bodacious woman who I just adore.
Well, it's my pleasure to introduce you to the resilient and relatable Debbie Calladine, a rising mindset coach star over at Conway Consulting, with a tale forged from moments of self-doubt to discovering the might of a resilient mindset. Debbie didn't just stop at overcoming. She transformed her journey into a tool set to empower others. Mentored by the seasoned Dave Conway, she's a living testimony to the magic of the right mindset and mentorship. Let's welcome Debbie!
Deb! Oh my gosh, my heart is so full. I almost started crying. I was like, oh my gosh. So it's so wonderful to be here with you, Tracy. Happy freaking birthday to you. Beautiful, bold, badass woman, you.
Oh boy. I knew when we first met, it was pretty easy to know that we were going to be friends for a long time. And we I think we get each other. Huh? We get each other.
Too. And you did help me open my heart. I will never forget that moment at the Alt Hotel almost a year ago. It was last October in Saskatoon at the Vision Maker. And you just looked at me and you looked in my eyes and you're like, Deb, I think you just need to surrender. You need to surrender. You need to open your heart. I'm like, oh my gosh, is that what I need to do? I literally went to my hotel room that night and I did. I my hands up. I'm like, I surrender to you, God. It's out of my control. I want you to just connect with my heart and show me what I need to do. And this past year has been nothing short of adversity, challenges, a lot of growth, just a lot of just stepping into the woman I want to become. And can I say that song that you guys played, it was talking about the lion. I'm like, hey, I need that song.
Is it not the best song ever? I know. When I heard it, I was like, I played it for my family and I was singing it and they're like, that's the song, Mom. That's the song for the summit.
Yes. And it's such a great song. And today, it really resonated with me because it talked about the lion. And I'm Leo. I'm a sign of the Leo in astrology, Leo the lion. And it's funny how I said I want to be a tiger. I'm a lion and a tiger because I'm a tiger in the Chinese zodiac. So it's kind of cool.
Oh, that is cool. You bring out the bad cats when you need to. The big bad cats. I love it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Deb, I think I left you that message last night, how I see so much more beyond what you even see. But you really truly have embodied the personal growth space like nobody I've ever met in my life. You live, you breathe it, you believe in it. And it's really, you came from a place where personal growth doesn't exist, because I spent 11 months there and I don't know how you spent as long as you did in that space, in the car space, but you really that talk about the opposite of growth. It's it's just not a fun place to be. At least it wasn't for me. Maybe it was different for you, but then you stepped into this new space and what you learned and discovered about yourself has allowed you to really, really lean in and not just serve other people, but serve yourself on an even higher level that's allowed you to make major shifts in your own life. Can you just kind of tell us a little your story? Because stories are so important.
They really are. And I've really loved everybody's stories this week. They've been so inspiring. I said to Tracy, I said, this week's been interesting because I'm usually really like, my attitude is really good, usually every single day. And I wake up positive and energized, and I get up early and I do the studying and I do the workouts and drink my water and do all of the things. But this week it's like, I've been a little bit off, and I have no idea why, but if it wasn't for the summit, like, I don't know, like my energy would have really dropped this week. So thank you for just bringing this to all these women. So that's first of all. So it's really helped me. And so my story, I love facts tell, story sells. So we got to be willing to share our stories. And I was in the auto industry as a finance manager for 13 years. That was my career. And I was in that career because my husband at the time thought that I would do well at it. And I did. And so I have so much gratitude for him leading me to that industry. But at the end of the day, I wanted to be my own boss. I didn't want to be there, 50 hours a week. I had kids at home. And so I made really good money in that industry. I was always earning six figures. But I had to sell the products that nobody wants to buy, right? The life, disability insurance, extended warranty. So I had to get really good at selling. And so when I kind of like left that industry, it was very much a man's world, kind of like, Denise was talking a bit today. I knew I was meant for something more. And I always kind of wanted to get into some form of coaching. And I always said to myself, how can I be in the personal development space and get paid to do it? What does that look like? And I didn't know. And here's like what we got to like remove the how from, right? We talk a lot about removing the how, just really get clear on what you want. Like, what's your vision? And so when I met Dave, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, we met for coffee in my city. And he's like, tell me about what your mind looks like. I don't know. I didn't know much about the mind. I'd been in the personal development space just through the network marketing company I was with. And that's how I was like, oh, I love this stuff. I love this material. And I met Dave, and he's like, what are your goals? And I'm like, I don't know. I want to earn a lot of money. And that was all I knew at the time. He's like, no, you got to get specific about what you want. Because if you're not specific about what you want, how is the universe or God supposed to bring you what you want? Yep. And so then I'm like, oh, that was like a light bulb moment. Like, I don't really know what I want. And so he left that impact on me 6 years ago. And then long story short, 2.5 years ago, I invested in his program, One Sale a Day Club, because I needed to learn how to sell again, because I was selling radio advertising at the time. Needed to learn how to sell radio advertising. So I invested in his program, 12 grand, put it on my credit card, didn't tell my husband. And then 2 weeks later, he's like, why don't you come work on my team? You have a servant heart, you have the contacting habit, and I need someone to help me grow this company. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So I just like, wow, now I look back, like Steve Jobs says, you can't connect the dots looking forward, only back. So then I'm like, oh my gosh, I wanted to be in the personal development space. I met Dave for a reason. I invested in the program because you got to invest in yourself. I highly believe in that. And then here I am. I coach people. I sell people into the programs, and then I get to coach the clients. So it's kind of cool how it all kind of transpired. And that's how I met you too.
That's how you met me.
Sven, who was on my team at the time, wasn't such a good salesperson. He wouldn't have probably closed you, and we would have maybe never met.
Well, I knew I was ready though. Like, I was fully ready because I had been, really grinding it out, doing the work, building my wellness business and being successful, but not at the level that I knew I could be. And I just really, intelligent, ready to go, tell me what to do, I'll do it mentality. But I wasn't given the direction that I needed. I wasn't around the right people. And that was the big, big catalyst to me stepping in and coming in with kind of the mindset of, I know a lot, so let's see what this is going to do for me. And very quickly realized I had to have a beginner's mindset or I was going to screw myself royally. And I had a big wake up call too. Like, I remember when I was called forward and I was told, you don't have a good attitude. This is not going to serve you. And it was all from a loving heart, meaning, really wanting to see me succeed, but needing to give me some hard facts and telling me like what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear. And that was a big shift for me. And, I think you and I just immediately connected too, because we are two women that we show up. We show up in a big way. We also show up with a beginner's mindset. We know. And sometimes my ego gets the best of me. And, I'm like, oh yeah, like this is so great. And then I kind of go, whoa, dial it back, neutralize my mind, get back grounded again, and that's why we need people around us who don't tell us what we want to hear, but tell us what we need to hear. Absolutely. But the people that are actually doing what you aspire to do. And those are the people you want to friggin' listen to. So
100%. Yeah, that direct, loving, and honest approach. Really, it's key. If you're just direct and honest, you're kind of a bit of a jerk, or bitch. And if you're just too loving, you're too much of a people pleaser. That ain't going to get you very far. And that's how I was for many years. So direct, honest, and loving. Those of you listening, write those words down. Mm-hmm. You got to be that way with yourself and other people, because stay away from people that sugarcoat the pill, because they are in harmony with your paradigm.
Yeah. Harmony with your paradigm. So let's talk about that for a minute, because, we say a lot of things because we are in this material on a regular basis. And I've learned through my coaching is really being able to break things down so people can actually assimilate it themselves and process it and go, okay, now I understand, that makes sense. Because a lot of the times, I know in the beginning, my biggest paradigm was, you're not smart. And I've helped to understand that I'm actually very intelligent, and I do have a lot more, that I can work with than I thought I did. And to really to stand in your confidence with that. But understanding, when we think about the paradigm, and we think about harmonizing with our paradigm, what does that exactly mean, Deb?
It's our paradigm. And what a paradigm is, it's just a multitude of habits, and it's fixed in our subconscious mind.
Yep.
It's fixed. That's a key word there. So, and how is a paradigm formed? Through genetically, mom and dad, when they had you, and then through your environment growing up. That created who you are today. Yep. So that we all have one, and it controls 98% of what we do in our day-to-day routine through life. And so that is the paradigm, and that's what has to change for you to change your results. So you have to get really clear on what you want, and then really start to, a big part of your paradigm, I'll back up a little bit, is your self-image. And the self-image is the way you see yourself. It's your identity. So how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as not very intelligent, or you gotta almost fake it till you make it, but be it till you are it? Be it, step into that woman that you want to become. That's why having a goal is so important, because when I first started working with Dave, my first goal is 15K a month. Dave's like, I'll help you get there. Then I hit that, then I hit the 25, then I hit the 30, I'm going to the 40, I'm going to the 50K a month. And so sometimes it's some months will have really good income, like in March, and then July, I hit almost 40K. But then, you drop that back down to 20K. That shows me my paradigm's not set at the 40K a month woman yet. Mm-hmm. So I see so much more growth ahead of me. So it's the goal, setting the goal. So the 50K a month woman, who is she? And so the self-image, you have to get really clear on who that woman is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A lot of a lot of the women said this week, that deep work, changing your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind is no joke. And do not underestimate how hard that is. It is a process.
It's a really big process, and it's so easy to give up because you're not getting the results as quickly as you want to. And it's your results tell you everything. Everything.
Don't lie.
They don't lie. And that's why having, a goal, a smart, measurable goal, and money is just an easy way to do that, is really, really important. Because if you can't buy in that you are that woman earning 30, 40, 50K a month, what does she look like? How does she act? You said fixed. Fixed is the habits that we run on autopilot. And breaking something that's fixed is not easy. It's really hard. It's so deeply rooted, and those roots are grabbing onto all the shit from your past that you've got to start to snip away at the roots to start to find freedom and reroute yourself in new beliefs that you believe in, so you can actually really empowerfully step into that woman who's earning 40, 50K a month. it is no joke, but it's absolutely doable. If you can do it and I can do it, like,
Absolutely.
are you kidding
The
me?
belief is so important. It's kind of like the knowing, believing gap, and that's huge. And when I met Dave, I was one of those people that, oh, I know, I've been in this industry, I've been in the information. Yeah, but what do your results say? I'm like, oh God, you know, it's like
Lie.
a pill to swallow. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not where I want to be. Okay, then what don't you know that's holding you back?
Yeah.
So it's a good question to ask ourselves. What don't we know that's holding us back? And so you've got to believe it. We got to believe it. You got to like really step into the person that has what you want. And when in the beginning, I was like, Rick, I don't know. What are some of those characteristics? What do I need to like start to unlearn and relearn about myself, and getting really clear on that? And how do we change a paradigm? There's two ways. Repetition of thought is the only way we can change our paradigm that we have control over. The other way is like an emotional impact, where something negative happens. It's a death, a divorce, a car crash. We've all experienced it. All the speakers this week have experienced some sort of emotional impact that changes us.
Yeah.
It changes the perception of ourselves, the world we live in. But the only way we can control or change our paradigm and self-image is repetition of thought and elite level coaching and studying.
Yeah.
That's the only way we have control over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And that's been proven today. Like, I mean, women have talked about multiple times what really allowed them to make the shift that they needed to make, to take that first step that really counted the most, was stepping into receiving help from a mentor. That's been a theme throughout this entire summit, everybody from day one. And I hope that that's resonating with people, right? Because this is not work that is possible to do on your own. If it was, everyone would be doing it. I mean, there's self-help books out there. You go to the library, you go to the bookstore, there's rows and rows of stuff. There's a self-help book section, right?
There's a book we study. This is all about self-image. So there's a really good resource. Dr. Maxwell Maltz was a cosmetic surgeon, and he discovered that we have two images. He would do work on people. Some people changed instantly. Other people didn't change at all. So that's when he was like, oh, we have an image in the mirror, and then we have an inner image, and that inner image controls everything from the way we walk, talk, dress, everything. Controls how much money we earn, all of it. So this is a really powerful book. But the books don't mentor you. That's the problem. If YouTube worked, you're right, Tracy. If YouTube worked, there'd be a lot more millionaires. And it doesn't. You need that close accountability. And that word's been dropped a lot this week too. The accountability to support the direction. Because you got to get around people that know more than you. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room. And then this one, it's funny that they're both black and gold, kind of cool. Think and Grow Rich, that's been brought up too, but Denise, Think and probably Cheryl, I know, studies this, and probably Carol too. Yeah, that's a book to be studied. Very, very good book.
It's an incredible book to be studied, and study is a big part of what we do every day. You know, I mean, I've fallen off the wagon of studying the last couple of weeks with getting ready for this. And I made an excuse and, it is what it is. Now I can't go back, but what I can do is step forward and continue, getting back into it. And I know like what studying does for me is it grounds me, because really like this information that's available to us by powerful people who've been around for centuries, like it's really, it comes all the way down. Like Napoleon Hill, he was mentored by who? By
Earl Nightingale.
Earl Nightingale, right? Right. And Earl Nightingale, who was he mentored by? Do we know? I know Dave's mentioned that before. I can't remember who Earl was or who supported Earl, but this is like old school thinking, but old school thinking is actually what we're reinventing and bringing into the world today. And we need to understand, like all the way back to philosophers, my daughter was taking philosophy. I remember reading her work going, this is fascinating, but this is what we're actually trying to bring into our lives today. This is really powerful stuff, and Patricia talked about how we have body systems and we're made up, and like we really need to start taking all of this stuff very seriously if we want to look at like how old are you right now? Think of your age. How long do you want to be around? And then think about that number of years. Do you want them to be great, or are you just going to be okay with them? Like seriously,
am I allowed to swear? Like F yeah.
Yeah, you can. Like seriously,
leave a legacy.
Like I like.
And here's the thing.
Plans.
I want to say this so you guys can write this down. This is one of your quotes that you can put in your little book. What we don't fix, our children inherit. What we don't fix, our clients inherit. So what do you need to fix? What do you need to fix so that your children don't pick up on that?
Yeah. And if you're a coach, you've got to have a coach. Like you've got to have multiple coaches, because how are you willing to ask people to work with you if you're not actually receiving like really good coaching yourself?
It's true. It's true. So it isn't about working hard. Working hard is part of it, but it's changing your thinking. Like this book says, change your thinking, change your life, right? It's Think and Grow Rich. So you have to change your unconscious beliefs and habits. That's part of your thinking. That's part of the conscious, subconscious mind. It's our consciousness. So unless the thinking changes, that's why when I look back through my life, it's like, holy crap, I tolerated a lot of shit in my life.
Tolerated. Yes.
Oh, did I ever? I did not have the high standards I do now. My life has completely changed. I'm recently separated for 2 months from my husband. I was with 25 years. We split up 5 years ago and then got back together, and then we split up 2 months ago. And so that's been like living in my own place. Like that's so weird for me. It's been an adjustment, but I keep stepping into the new self-image of who I am, and not going to tolerate the stuff that I did for so many years. And I'm sure many of you listening, if you're tolerating something in your life that you shouldn't be, you know deep down that something has to change, and nothing changes until you do the work.
Yeah, the word tolerate, I encourage everyone right now to take a minute, write down what you are no longer going to tolerate from this moment on. And to say that is one thing, right? But it's what happens next matters. And I know, with when we talk about the idea of decision, right? And most of us are really terrible decision makers, and we have to accept that, because if we were great decision makers, we would be extremely successful. Yep. Right? And we're not extremely successful. We're working towards it. So the better we can make decisions, the better success we're going to have in life. But there's two phases to a decision, right, Deb? And the first is making it, but then the second is what?
Making it again.
And actually doing
it. Like no decision. Like, I'll do that. Like I have a guy right now that says, yeah, I'm going to work with you. But I'm like, he says, he's starting today. It's like no action, no decision. So decision's a whole chapter in Think and Grow Rich. It's not there by accident. And Bob Proctor said this, and Dave quotes this. He says, if you don't make a decision within 20 seconds, you don't deserve to win. It's like, that's a bit harsh when I first heard that.
Oh, that's big. If you don't make a decision in 20 seconds, you don't deserve to win.
It's like, whoa.
And that's harsh. But you know what? It's harsh because it hits home. How are you triggered by that? Are you triggered by that emotionally? Probably. Why? Does it make what are the emotions that come up? Maybe it's like, I'm angry. Well, where's anger coming from? Anger is suppressed emotions. Where are you feeling suppressed emotions? Like, be your biggest freaking champion and go back and figure out where this shit. Because the minute you can go, yeah, I'll accept that. The more ideas you accept that are in favor of you actually creating the life you want, the more successful you're going to be. Most of us aren't willing to receive the ideas, and the most successful people have received ideas and accepted them, and that's why they're successful. And that's why we're not.
Like, the only difference between failures and successful people is successful people are currently, they're just accepting ideas that you're probably currently rejecting. That's it. We're no different. You, me, Bob Proctor, anyone that's famous out there and multimillionaires, they're accepting ideas that we're rejecting. They're changing their thinking. They're changing their standards. They're going after what they want. And when we make a decision, the only prerequisite is, do I want that? If you want it, and if you want what that decision brings you, you got to do it. The money always comes. It does.
That's good. If you want that, and then you want what that decision brings you. I like that. I like the pairing of that. Because it takes, I want that to a different level to me. I want that, and I want what that decision brings me. All of a sudden, you visualize what that decision's bringing you. And what does that do for us, Deb? It brings us into our imagination, right?
Yeah, our imagination. That's another important faculty that we have, right? One of our 6 higher faculties is the imagination. The more we can tap into that, really, like, what do you want? Like the speakers this week are like, what do you want? That's the first step. And it shouldn't be that hard to really dig into that. But it is for some people when their confidence is weak. When you have a low confidence, you have a weak imagination. So just allow yourself to dream. And that's been brought up a lot this week. We cannot express that enough. Dream, write it all out. How do you want to live? Who do you want to partner with in life? You know, like, how do you want to earn your money? And like, I'll just get really, really clear about what do you want. That's the first step in really achieving those goals.
Let's talk about, before we go, because I want to talk about, so our higher self-image, and our higher goals. What is like, I think we get confused about goals and a higher goal. So what's a goal that will help us achieve that success that we all desire so much?
You got to have a C-type goal. Do not set goals that you know how you can get. So we set goals not to get, we set goals to grow. That's part of the self-image. So when you set the goal, say, I really like to earn 50K a month because I like what that lifestyle brings me. I like that I can buy my own home. I can donate to charities. I can put my kids through school, whatever that is. I can have all of the things I desire. I can fly first class. I can buy that Louis Vuitton bag, whatever that is. Everyone's wants are different. So C-type goal, you have no idea how to get there, but that's what you want. And then the second part is creating the self-image, that higher self. Who is the woman that's achieving those goals? And then get around people that are where you want to be, and you watch your life change. Like, my life was not this way a year ago, 2.5 years ago when I started with Dave, not even close. I'm not even close to the same woman, but I couldn't have done it without help. You're right, Tracy. We all need direction. We all need help to get to new levels. So it's the C-type goal. What do you really want? Not what do you think, but what do you want? And then creating the self-image, and that takes work. That's part of my free gift, is the self-image script. You start to design the woman who's living the life you want, and you step into it, you record it on your phone, you listen to it, and you just burn that into the subconscious mind.
Yes.
Because repetition of thought is how we change the paradigm, period. Nothing changes until you do it, until you change. And that's changing the subconscious, the beliefs. That's it.
Self-image script is no joke, ladies. I wrote mine in August of 2022. And I am telling you right now, that script that I still read has completely moved me into taking action, into accepting new things, into embodying the woman that was, when I wrote it, I was none of the things written. Now I am well on my way with big plans. I've already done many of the things. I'm stepping into her. And now it's about rewriting it and taking me to the next level.
Yeah, you've come so far, Tracy. Like, I just want to say, like, wow. Like, the woman you were a year ago, like, Tracy has changed so much, you guys. If you like, just in her, the way she shows up, you interview so well. You're such a good listener. You really like, you connect with your heart so well. I'm getting better at that, but it's a process. It's opening that heart, and the heart is connected to the subconscious mind. So I just want to say congrats to you for doing the work and investing in your growth, because you've invested a ton of time and money, energy.
6 figures.
All of it. I believe
For
it.
sure, like literally 6 figures. And but you know what? This is because I know I'm worth it. I'm worth it.
Worth it.
And what did our beautiful Asil say? That money follows joy. And this is bringing me joy. Investing in myself is bringing me joy, because it's allowing me to create a life that brings me joy. So yes, there's hard work, but the hard work is actually the work that you will fall in love with, because you realize on the other side of that work is truly what you've always been looking for. Yeah. And this isn't just cliche words. And when you do it with someone that can guide you and direct you, like Debbie, like me, like Conway Consulting, like, find your people, and use your voice and ask questions. Finally start asking yourself, am I willing to receive? And if you're not, then that's where you want to start, because why are you not willing to receive? There's a self-worth issue under there. And just get around new people. The best thing you can do is just get around new people. We're your people. This group is not going away. We've locked arms. Like, we're solid. This is a solid locking arms. Okay. And we here, and I know this circle is going to grow of more powerful women that want to be a part of this, to support women like you, because this is what we need. We're in this. This is our mentorship. It's a lifestyle. This is our new.
I love when you said that.
step
It
into
really,
it.
it's a lifestyle. You get in and you stay in. You don't leave. That's
No,
the
why
biggest
would
thing
you
I see
leave?
with
Why?
people. It's like they get in and then they leave. It's like, why would you leave? You got to stay in this material every
Because
single
they haven't had a paradigm shift enough. They haven't.
Like you have not had a paradigm shift yet, so you can't leave.
No.
And some people change quick, and other people take it's more of a process. It took me about 1.5 years. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
A good 18 months, and I'm still like, hey, what's the next level?
Yep, 100%.
I want to like show people this is a really good calendar, you guys. It's called You
Oh,
Were, so it's really good
yes.
for women. And I highlighted today. It says we grow and learn through friction. And that's just something that stood out to me in this paragraph. It's like, it's so true. So like go to the discomfort, go to what scares you, because that is how we grow.
Yes. Debbie, I love you. You're my people. Oh my gosh. And you're introducing me to amazing people. I'm introducing you to amazing people. This is what it's about. We are here to do this. We're not meant to do this. We're meant to do this. And I am grateful. I'm grateful. And I just can't wait to see where we're going to be in another year. Holy cow. Just look out, world. Here we all come together. Check out Deb's breakout session. Go and see her. Get ready. Ask her powerful questions. She's gonna bring them back to you and make you feel badass. Debbie, I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for being a part of this amazing event. So grateful.
Yes, thanks for having me. So grateful for you.